Hello and welcome to Bits Play Games. In this video, in light of The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom coming out in a couple weeks, I'm going to do a tier list of my favorite Zelda games. And they're not all going to be included in this list just because I am not going to rate a game I didn't play. So you're obviously going to see the games I haven't played yet. So if you've played them and recommend them, let me know in the comments below. But let's get started. I'll start maybe with the earliest game that I've played, and the earliest Zelda game that I played would be Link's Awakening. It wasn't the first Zelda game I ever played, but considering when I did play it, I've already played Ocarina of Time and like some 3D stuff, and I just enjoyed it as much as I did. I'm definitely going to rate it up there. Now this game, it's just one of the most unique Zelda games, obviously. If you've played it, you know there's a lot of like dreamlike elements and it's just weird. And I love stuff like that. And I'll get to that later with Majora's Mask. But Link's Awakening is probably my favorite handheld Zelda game. And I'm gonna rate this in the A category. Now the next game that I'll rate is A Link to the Past. Now, I kind of was on and off with this game because I think I was kind of really in Ocarina at the time, and I had it on the Game Boy Advance, and then I played it on the Super Nintendo Mini, and then I played it on the Virtual Console, and it's a solid 2D Zelda game. It obviously set the stage for kind of the formula that Zelda was going to use kind of after that with Ocarina of Time, and, you know, so on. And it's solid. The characters, I love the art style. It's probably one of my favorite art styles for a Zelda game, like 2D wise. I thought it was, you know, I understand why it's a lot of people's favorite Zelda game. So I will also rate that in the A category. Four Swords Adventures. Now, I did play this, and to be fair, a lot of me playing Four Swords was maybe with one person, sometimes by myself, 3 people. I played even the demo at Walmart. I have distinct memories of that. It's a fun game, and if you can get 4 people to play it, I think it's definitely an experience to have, and it's just Zelda co-op, so it's fun. And they kind of had some link cable compatibility with the GameCube, or I mean with the Game Boy Advance to the GameCube. So like you go into a dungeon. Well, I think you had to use the Game Boy Advance. I don't remember, actually. I know you use the Game Boy Advance, like when you'd enter a cave, like the person would see on their Game Boy Advance screen going in the cave. So there was cool little elements like that. It was a fun game, good co-op Zelda game. So I'm going to rate that in the B category. Now, okay, so A Link to the Past and Four Swords. I know it's a little different, but I'm just going to leave this down here because I'm not going to rate it twice. Now, A Link Between Worlds on the 3DS. This game was a pleasant surprise. You obviously go back to the same high roll as A Link to the Past, and I think a lot of people were worried about it being too familiar because how similar the map was, but there was definitely some twists in there, and the gameplay mechanic of merging into the walls, it really made puzzles super interesting, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. It kind of gave you a option with which dungeon to approach first. It was kind of setting the stage formula-wise, heading towards Breath of the Wild with all the freedom. Not nearly there, but it was kind of getting you a little bit prepped for it. So I'm going to rate this also in the B category. You're going to notice a lot of A's and B's and high scores. It's just, there's not many Zelda games I dislike, so yeah, it's pretty much going to be a top-heavy list. Now, let's jump to Phantom Hourglass. Phantom Hourglass was a game, it was the first Zelda game on the DS, and then Spirit Tracks. And it was my brother's game, and I borrowed it, and I have a lot of good memories with it, and I thought Phantom Hourglass was really good. I love Wind Waker, as I'm going to get to, and I think Phantom Hourglass kind of kept that same feel and the soul of Wind Waker. It wasn't quite there because it was on the DS, not the GameCube, but just the colors, on the ocean, I just love that, and the puzzles with the touchpad, or the touchscreen and everything. I thought they were all pretty good, so I'm going to rate Phantom Hourglass also in the B category. Now, let's just jump to Spirit Tracks, which is the next DS Zelda game. Now, Spirit Tracks, I also enjoyed Spirit Tracks. It had the same art style as Phantom Hourglass. It had that cel-shaded style that, like, Phantom Hourglass and Wind Waker had. It just, for me, the whole train mechanic just never really hit with me. I don't know. I tried to like it. It's just, for me, like, the hub world and how you, like, maneuver through the hub world and all that kind of stuff, it's important to, like, set, like, to ground you in the game and like how into the game you get. The puzzles and the dungeons and the boss fights, all really good. It had even some multiplayer modes which were really fun. It just wasn't there for me when it comes to just the whole atmosphere, I guess. So I'm gonna put this in the C category. I might get a little backlash for that one, but I definitely put Phantom Hourglass above Spirit Tracks. Now the next one, I guess I'll jump to Triforce Heroes. Now, I put an okay amount of time into this with some friends, and I like weird, like I mentioned, but I don't know. Some of the puzzles are cool. It was fun, but the whole clothing thing and everything, it never really pulled me in to make me want to keep coming back, and probably one of my least played Zeldas, so just from it not being able to hold my attention, I'm gonna have it's probably gonna be one of my lowest scores. Now, I guess I'll start getting more into the 3D games. I guess the first one I'll go with is Twilight Princess. Now, I didn't play Twilight Princess on the GameCube. I played it on the Wii. My brother and I and his friend, we did the launch for the Wii at Walmart, got Twilight Princess on the Wii, and it was just, you know, if I was rating it then just because of all the hype and emotion, I'd probably put it in the S category, but I'm going to put it in the A category. I really enjoyed it. It was a really good Zelda game, really good 3D Zelda game. You love Ocarina of Time. You're going to love Twilight Princess. Story, I thought, was good. I liked the atmosphere. I think it was all there. I'd probably put it in the S if some of the other games that are left on the list just didn't blow me away as much. But I'm going to have it in the A. It's still just a great Zelda game. Definitely recommend. I actually beat it. I got pretty far on the Wii, but I actually beat it on the Wii U version. So I'd recommend that one. It's really nice having the gamepad functionality. Okay, so let's go to Ocarina of Time. We'll jump right to Ocarina. Ocarina of Time's first Zelda game I ever played. Most memories growing up as a kid playing Zelda games was going to be up with Ocarina of Time. I took my N64 to my friend's house, and it was a moment beating the water temple for the first time. I remember I was at my friend's house. It's one of those things you don't forget. I remember the first time my brother beat the game. It's just, I have so many memories with this game, and even playing it, being older, playing the 3DS version, it's one of those games I can play over and over and over again, and I just have like the layout of the levels in my head, and even the water temple, surprisingly, is pretty in my head there. So I'm gonna put Ocarina of Time to the S. I mean, it just changed the game, or literally, it changed gaming. I feel like there's just so many elements from that other 3D games took and ran with. And for its first attempt, Nintendo really blew it out of the water with Ocarina of Time. I mean, I don't know how you don't put that in the S category. And I know I'm talking about personally and not just like what most people think, but that is where I'm at in S. It's just such a great game, and one a lot of people consider one of the best games of all time. Now, saying that, let's jump to, I guess we'll jump right to Majora's Mask. Now, Majora's Mask is going to be a little divisive, I think, for people where I rate this. I never beat this game, or I beat this game when I was an adult. I was probably early 20s when I beat this for the first time and played most of it for the first time. So I didn't really have the like nostalgia glasses on where it's just like, oh, this game was awesome, and you're just thinking of like your kid brain and how you thought about it. Maybe it benefited my opinion playing as an adult, because I feel like I appreciated more of the atmosphere, and I like how it was. There's a couple things I like in a lot of games. One is when they're weird, and another one is when they're dark. And this game had both of those. And I actually love the side quests. It made the world feel just rich and alive, and I just thought it just made you care about the characters and actually care about saving, Termina and everything. So I don't know, this game, it had me the whole time. I loved it. I couldn't put it down. I'm gonna put this in the S category. I know a lot of people aren't gonna agree with me, but that's just where I am with it. Majora's Mask, if you haven't played it, don't believe the haters. It's a great game. Now let's jump to the Wind Waker. Now the Wind Waker, I mean, how can you not like Wind Waker? I mean, I feel like I was in the camp that when it first came out and you're looking at it and you're just kind of like, what the heck is this? Yeah, my brother even was wondering if it was for the Game Boy Advance. And I know that's weird because it's like that came around on the Game Boy Advance, but the style for us at the time was so new and different, being cell shaded, that we didn't know if that was something that could be on the Game Boy Advance or like what it was. It was just so foreign to us. But I think it was just so many people wanted the next realistic Zelda game like Twilight Princess, so you got something completely not what you were asking for. So it got it had a bad rap like right off the bat. But if you played the game, if you're anything like me, you grew to just absolutely adore it. Just the whole swashbuckling like adventure, going through the ocean, finding islands. It gave me that sense of freedom I feel like back then that Breath of the Wild gives to me now. And I think to recapture that, or like with Breath of the Wild, like we'll get to that, but for Wind Waker, I know they did this, they spread out islands to try to make it feel bigger, but it made it feel bigger. And it just, you never knew what you were going to find. It was just awesome. The story was, I think, one of the best stories in a Zelda game, and I want them to go back to the water. I feel like looking at stuff with the Tears of the Kingdom, it looks like I might get some of that feel back, but we'll see. But yeah, the Wind Waker, it's also going to be up in my S category. I know there could have been more dungeons, all that kind of stuff, but to me, it's just on another level. Okay, so we'll jump to Skyward Sword. Now, Skyward Sword gets I feel like it came out, got amazing reviews. I know IGN gave it a 10, and a lot of other places did too. And then it was out for a while. And then people were like, wait, did we overhype this? The motion controls, are they that good? They make the game actually kind of linear. It's not like open. It's kind of claustrophobic, all this stuff. But if you play it for what it is, I think it's a great game. I think the story is another one. Another game. I think it like really focused on the cinematic part, which I liked, and I think they did it in a really good way for Zelda. It makes you really care about the characters. I like the motion controls personally. I thought it was fun. It's not what I prefer, but like for what it is, the game it wants to be, I think it succeeded. And yeah, I mean, I thought it was a really good Zelda game. I really liked it. I'll probably rate this in the A category. I thought it was pretty good. Looks like the last one I have to rate, I know there's a lot left on the board I have to get to, but is Breath of the Wild. And you know what, for me, I didn't think a Zelda game could pass my other favorites, but honestly, even with the game being out for 6 years or whatever it's been now, I can still say Breath of the Wild, as of this moment, is my favorite Zelda game. I didn't think Wind Waker or Majora's Mask could be passed, but it's just a whole experience. They, like, being as old as I am and going to a new game and to recapture those feelings you have like playing as a kid, and that's literally what it did. I haven't really just dove into a game and just couldn't put it down as much as Breath of the Wild for the longest time. I pick up a game, I put it down, I get back to it maybe, but Breath of the Wild, I picked it up, I couldn't put it down. Just an amazing game. The sense of discovery that you get from this game and experimentation and everything, it's just on a whole nother level, which is one of the many reasons I'm excited for Tears of the Kingdom. So that's going to go right up here in the S category. Now, that's my list for now. There's obviously a good handful of games left on the board there. I'm gonna try to get to those, and maybe I'll do an updated list. But for now, this is my ranking of the current Zelda games that I've played. If you agree, let me know in the comments. If you disagree, if you're mad at me, let me know in the comments, and I'll get back to you. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.